Okay. Okay. Welcome, everyone. We are going to do a restorative yoga session today. Some days we focus a little bit more on meditation, and some days we focus a little bit more on the restorative yoga. And this week will be more on the restorative. So obviously, restorative yoga needs a lot of props. So if you're serious about restorative yoga, I recommend getting a bolster, kind of one of the most essential props for restorative. But if you don't have a bolster today, don't worry. I'll show you different options. If you don't have a bolster, then just grab 2 cushions. But even if you have a bolster, in the first back bend that we're going to be doing, we're going to be using 1 cushion. So just make sure you've got at least 1 cushion. And then quite nice to have something to cover the eyes, just to kind of block out some of the light. Can really make a difference in your practice. So even just like a clean t-shirt or a scarf or something. And then obviously it's cold. We're practicing in the UK, so make sure you've got a blanket or even 2 blankets. Electric blanket, even better. Sometimes I even like to have like the heater just facing me, just to warm up the space. And then we're going to start standing. And just take a step off your mat. I know you can't see my head right now, but we're going to be mainly grounded today on the floor. So don't worry about that. So just take a little step off your mat. We've been doing this ritual in classes recently where we intentionally step on the mat on the exhale breath. So just make it a little bit of a ritual for you. So put on any clothes that you want to, socks, jumpers, and we're going to take a nice slow breath in. And then as you exhale, step onto the mat. So we're stepping onto our little island of relaxation, of introspection. And start to face forwards on your mat. Take the feet about hip width apart. We're going to go straight into our first posture, which is going to be Uttanasana, forward fold. So take a nice slow breath in. And as you exhale, bend the legs. Hinge from the hips. Bend the legs generously. And just allow the whole of the upper body just to melt down. So you're relaxing through the back of the head. Some people like to hang the arms down here. If you're feeling a little bit tight in the hamstrings, maybe you just take a hold of elbows. That might be quite a nice option. And then maybe you just take a gentle sway from side to side. And just start to wake up the muscles in the back of the legs. Take a breath in and a breath out. Staying present. Sorry, staying present, not staying present. And seeing if you can just really release through the exhale breath. We're going to take around 2 to 3 more breaths in our forward fold. You can stay in movement, maybe coming into some stillness. A really great way of waking up that sense of awareness through the body, coming into an inversion straight away. Let's take 1 more breath in. Then as we exhale, bring the hands down towards the earth. We're going to bring 1 knee down, followed by the other. And then make our way into a child's pose. So draw the hips back towards the heels. It's your first child's pose here, so sometimes I quite like to take a cushion or a block underneath the head. Bring the forehead down towards the brick, block, cushion, maybe the earth. Let the arms stretch forwards and just take a moment here. Landing onto the earth. Let the elbows and the wrists relax so that the shoulders can soften a little bit more. Created space for yourself to be here. So really allowing yourself to give yourself permission to be here. Take a breath in and a breath out. And as we inhale, we're going to gently lift ourselves up to hands and knees. And then exhale, just come into a few rounds of cat-cow here. So bringing the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. We're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift up through heart and bum. And then exhale, doming and rounding. Drop the head, tuck the bum under. Just floating through a couple more of those, breathing in. And then exhale, arching and doming. Feeling the hardness of the floor beneath you, a gentle caress of air on the skin, leaving whatever came before this moment behind, and entering into the present moment using the breath in the body. Let's take one more breath in. And as we exhale, let that breath go. Lovely. And we're going to carefully come back into a comfortable seated position. So you might come back to sit back on towards the heels. Some people like to come into a comfortable cross-legged position. And we're going to set up for our first restorative. So in restorative postures, it's quite nice not to spend too much time kind of moving the body or too much time meditation at first. Just come straight into the restorative. So we're going to be needing a blanket and a cushion, one or two cushions. I always like to take one cushion underneath first, and then if you need to add another one, then feel free. So we're going to make sure we've got access to something to cover the eyes if you like to use that. And then we're going to bring the feet, knees about hip width apart. I quite like to open up a blanket and then just place that on top of the knees. So it's almost acts like a little blanket warmth for the lower body, but also keeps your knees from floating outwards. You can even tuck the blanket a little bit underneath the feet. And then we're going to bring the cushion behind you. See if you can slide the cushion a little bit closer towards the body. So there's about maybe a couple of centimeters between low back and cushion. And then we're going to slowly arch the back and start to lie back onto the cushion. Bring the head and the shoulders all the way back down towards the earth. So you should feel a very gentle opening through the front of the body. We're not looking for anything too intense right now. Very gentle opening. Might take a moment just to allow the elbows to relax down, arms come either side. Some people like to take the arms up and overhead, maybe creating a little diamond shape with the arms around the head. If you'd prefer to keep the hands on the belly, that's also another nice option. If you want to use something to cover the eyes, now would be a good time. Swallow the throat, swallow through the throat, and release through the root of the tongue. I'm going to take a nice slow inhale. And exhale, letting go. Allowing yourself about 2 more breaths like that, breathing in nice and slow. Breathing out maybe through the mouth, just feeling that sense of releasing. Let's take that for one more breath in. And exhale, letting go. Allowing the breath to find its own natural rhythm. Allowing a sense of the physical body being supported by props and earth beneath. And restorative yoga, we're looking to drop through the layers of that thinking monkey mind, as I like to call it. Has always got commentary on every single situation. And we do that by creating stillness and giving us space and time to drop through those layers and get in contact with that observational consciousness. But even if you don't feel that sense of deepening, Just giving yourself a little bit of space, a bit of silence is beneficial. I'll now be silent for the next 5 minutes. Letting yourself rest and breathe. Now take 3 more breaths in here. Taking a breath in through the nose. Exhale, letting that breath go fully. Let's take another breath in when you're ready. And then exhale, releasing. When you feel ready to move, we're just going to roll ourselves off to one side. So rolling yourself off your cushion. Let's take a moment on your side body. So you might bend the bottom arm. So if you're on your left side, you might bend the left arm. If you're on your right, the right arm. And keeping that sense of heaviness through the upper body, eyelids, head. We're going to gently press down through one of the palms, followed by the other to lift yourself up. As you come up, just going to take a moment in comfortable seated position. Eyes can be closed or open. And just observe what's going on for you in your internal environment. Resist any urge to change anything about your interior state. Switching to observational mode and just kind of noticing how the energy is flowing or not flowing. Noticing the temperature of the body. And noticing the quality of breathing. Slowly open the eyes, come back into the space. Okay, so we're going to move into instant Maui pose. This is really like the big daddy of restorative yoga poses. And it's going to be a slight inversion. So we're going to turn the body so it's a slight angle, the heart above the head and the hips above the heart. So I'm going to show you lots of different options of how you want to come into this. There's a slight inversion with the chair, but there's an option to take it into a little bit more of an inversion with something underneath the low back. So I'm going to use a chair, but obviously if you have a bed then or a sofa, then just use that instead. And we're going to turn the chair or the bed, actually not turn the bed, as in turn the chair, so that the back is facing away from you, so that you have, when you hang your legs off, the feet don't touch the back of the chair. So just turn it so that you have free space in front of you. And then if you want to use a little bit more of an inversion here, we're going to bring the bolster widthways or two cushions in front of the chair. So if you just watch me first, and then you can come into it. If you've done this with me before, you want to come into instant Maui straight away, then feel free. Remove the cushion from behind the head. So we want to make sure that the head isn't supported by anything, just a flat surface. Then we're going to sit on your cushions or your bolster. Wrap the legs around a blanket or get yourself nice and snugly. Then we're going to lift the legs and pop them on the chair. If you're using a sofa or a bed, then you can just pop them on the sofa or the bed. You want to make sure that the backs of the knees are supported by whatever you're hanging the legs off. So just make sure the backs of the knees are supported. You might need to slide a little bit further forwards, ensuring that the whole leg is supported, so the whole lower leg. And then we're going to come all the way back, bring the shoulders and the head back, and then sliding, adjusting the bolster or the cushions to make sure that it's supporting sacrum, so the low back area. So have a little check-in. Some days I come into this and I'm like, oh, there's just too much pressure on the head, in which case you can remove whatever's behind the low back and just come into legs hanging off chair, sofa, or bed. If you'd like to add a little bit more inversion to the pose, and you can keep that prop underneath the low back. Okay, then if you want to use an eye pillow, good time to do so. Just resting the arms wherever feels comfortable for you, making sure the head and the shoulders are supported by the earth. If you've got quite flat cushions, then I'd recommend using maybe 3 cushions underneath the low back if you want to feel that sense of lift. Okay, let the feet, ankles completely relax. Backs of the knees supported by whatever you've got the legs hanging on. Slight tuck of the chin, getting that length going through the back of the neck. And we're going to be here for around 10 minutes. If for any reason you feel like you might want to come out earlier, then feel free to remove whatever's underneath the low back, maybe even slide to one side and just come out of the posture. We're going to take a nice slow breath in and an exhale, letting go, letting go, letting go. Inhale for the count of 5 or 6. Exhale, maybe there's an emphasis on the exhalation here. So maybe you're exhaling for the count of 7 or 8. Exhale through the nose or the mouth, whatever feels comfortable for you. The reason why we invert in this restorative yoga pose is because it's a shortcut way to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest, relaxation response. There's nothing that you need to do in order for this to happen except just be here and breathe. Sometimes being in stillness might bring up some emotion. If that is the case, know that it's completely normal and natural. This is a safe space, a private space for you to welcome in or let go, whatever that needs to be. But also knowing that it's fine if you don't feel anything at all. Just that simple act of silence and stillness is beneficial for your body. I'll now be silent for the next 7 minutes. As I'm silent, just please know that I'm right here with you, and you'll hear my voice very soon. Okay, for the last minute in this posture, you're welcome to stay as you are. You want to come into upward facing forward fold. We're going to keep the low back on the cushion or bolster. I'm going to remove my blanket here so you can see what I'm doing with my legs, but you go ahead and stay as with the blanket on top of you. We're going to start to draw both knees in towards the chest and then start to draw the feet back behind you. So it doesn't have to go too far here. It's not really about how far you bring the feet back. It's more about creating that pressure between the thighs and the belly. Let the arms rest wherever feels comfortable. The legs kind of relaxing here. No activation through the backs of the legs. Getting that slight pressure between the thighs and the belly. If this feels too much, you can bring the legs all the way back or stay with the legs lifted. I'm going to be here for around 30 more seconds. You can let the low back lift off whatever it's resting on if that feels comfortable too. Okay, take a breath in. Exhale, release fully. Option to stay here for a couple more breaths. If and when you're ready, you're going to re-bend the legs. Land the legs nice and slow back onto whatever surface it was resting on. Feeling that sense of release through the belly. And then when you're ready, you're going to bend the legs, bring the soles of the feet on chair, cushion, sorry, not cushion, sofa, bed. And then you're just going to roll yourself off to one side. Just roll yourself off. You might need to readjust slightly. And then we're just going to spend just a couple moments on the side body. I've got my head lifted here, but you go ahead and rest the head all the way down, maybe bend the bottom arm. We've been inverting for a while, so just take a moment to absorb. Allowing yourself space to feel whatever it is you're feeling. It doesn't necessarily have to be relaxed, doesn't necessarily have to be rested. Just giving yourself a space and a container for everything. And then we're going to carefully lift ourselves up. And then without using too much effort, we're going to come into our final Shavasana. So just remove chair, take it to one side. To remove my chair all the way. Switch off any lights or dim the lights. Come to lie on the back of the body. If you don't like to lie on the back, lie on the front, lie on the side. Don't worry too much about the positioning of the body too much. Something to cover the eyes. And sink back into stillness. So I'm going to guide you through your Shavasana, and then I'll not talk for a little bit of time, and then I'm going to bring you back. So bring the arms to rest wherever feels comfortable for you. If you're feeling a little bit more stressed and anxious this week, it might be a nice idea to rest the palms on the body itself. Take a swallow of the mouth and the throat. And then release the jaw, the root of the tongue, the eyelids, and the cheekbones. Beginning to experience, hopefully, the practice of letting go. Taking your awareness to the place of tension through the body that you tend to tighten a lot. Might be the eyebrows, might be the jaw, the chest, the abdomen, shoulders. And see if that place can release by about 5% more. Sinking into stillness. Action will come. Movement will come. Change will come. All will come. But it's not here yet. Accepting this moment completely, rejecting nothing, rejecting no sound, no sensation through the body, no emotion. Accepting this moment through every fiber of your being. Shavasana. Beginning to deepen your breath. And taking a sweeter breath in and out. As you do so, maybe just observing how you feel, noticing if there's any shift, any changes. And then starting to bring back some movement to the body. Unless you want to stay as you are, please feel free. I'll just end the video. So just moving in a way that feels gentle, intuitive. If there's a yawn present, I highly recommend letting it flow. Mm. Full body stretch, maybe flexion point of the feet. Drawing the knees in towards the chest, give yourself a final last big hug, little squeeze, maybe gentle rock from side to side. And just let yourself fall very gently over towards one side. And this time we're going to lift ourselves up into comfortable seated position straight away. Lifting yourself up. Eyes can be closed. Head can be heavy. Just resting the hands on top of the knees or thighs. You might want to bring the hands together in the heart space. Bowing the head down towards your heart and thanking you and your wonderful body for your practice today. And we're going to end by taking one last breath in and out together. So when you're ready, take a nice slow inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth, let it go. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. After restorative, your body's probably going to feel a bit more relaxed. So nice time to have a bath or a shower. Just take it easy tonight. And I'm going to end the video. You know, some people are still practicing. Oh no, everyone's out. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you all soon. Bye.
Thank
You
you,
okay?
Tash.
You okay, Laura? Yeah.
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah,
It was
good,
really
good.
lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was just it's a stillness practice today. So if you want a bit more
Yeah,
movement, we're gonna get into it in the other classes.
yeah, that was a good way back in. So yeah, I'll see you as in. Wait, when's the next? Do you have one on Saturday or Sunday?
I have one tomorrow, lunchtime, and then I've got one on
Okay.
Sunday morning. That's the more dynamic
Okay.
one, if you wanted to check that out.
Okay.
Okay, darling, I'll
Yeah,
see
I'll
you
probably
soon.
join on Sunday. Bye.
Bye.